Good evening, everybody. Today we're going to be creating a tutorial video on how to make your own textures for your police cars. Today I'm going to be using this model of police car, and I'm going to open up the credits here so you can see how all contributed to it. And there's the model, and here's the credits. Alright, so now that we got that part over with, they included in their file a template, and this is going to be the template that we're using to place all of our images onto the police car. So I did some research on LSPDFR, and one of the state trooper packs that I didn't see anything really of was the Iowa State Trooper. So we're going to be creating an Iowa State Trooper patrol car today. So I basically already have most everything created to speed things up, and I'll kind of show you what I did. I searched the interweb for these three files, and they're pretty much just State Trooper, Iowa State Patrol logos. And this one is one logo, obviously their main logo that goes on the side of their door. I use this right here since it had enough of their. Why my photo thing isn't opening it up, I don't know. I use that because it has the gray car in the background. I'm going to use that to get the gray paint job. And then I got the license plate. There we go. Now it's opening up and it's giving me errors. Okay. And I got the license plate. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open up the template, and I'm going to be using GIMP. This is free, easy to learn, easy to use software, especially if you are a beginner at creating your own textures. And I'm just going to open it up with GIMP. I'm going to put it onto the left side of my screen, and I'm going to, and then here's this one image I made. I already have the text I'm going to use for the State Patrol State Trooper, and I already posted the logo onto this as well with the gray background, and I'll show you why I did that when I get to copying that onto the template. Okay, so we're going to open this file as well, but make sure we open it up with GIMP. We're going to throw it on the right side of the screen. And where is my toolbox? Why is my toolbox not showing up? Alrighty. There we go, new toolbox. Got it. Okay, so we're going to zoom in on the door, since we're going to do the door first with the logo. And we're going to just select all this. Alright, now the reason why I put this image onto the gray background was that way when I get to painting the template gray silver so that way it shows up so that way the car is gray in the game, I don't have to go around the image and get all the pixels turned gray. So I just took that and put it onto the gray background, so if that makes any sense at all. And now I'm just going to kind of post it onto my DPS, or why I'm saying Department of Public Safety because I'm in Texas. I'm going to place it onto my State Patrol car, and that's where I'm going to place it. So now I'm going to kind of zoom out. I'm going to paste it again for the other side, and then I'm going to kind of zoom in down there as well, so that way I can make sure I get it as similar as a location as possible. That way it looks good in game when you've got it similar location. Alrighty, let's zoom out and just kind of check on it, make sure everything looks spot on as far as location. Alrighty. I could probably go, oh no, I definitely need to go up. Shit. I don't know what I was thinking there. Alrighty, we'll kind of line it up there. There we go. That's better. That's definitely lined up now. I don't know how I had it so low. Okay, so now we're going to select our text. And as well, this has been put on a gray background, so that way we don't have to color around the lettering. So we're going to select our lettering. The State Trooper part goes on the front of the car, and I've looked on images on YouTube of Iowa State Troopers vehicles. So if anything's wrong or if it's not up to date, I'm sorry. I looked at videos. I'm not from Iowa. I only did the Iowa State Trooper because I didn't see any Iowa packs on LSPDFR. I'm going to scale this down to fit a little bit better. Had it a little big on my image over here. And we're just going to place it about right. Let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more so we can see exactly what lines I'm placing it on. Okay. And we'll paste it right about there. We're going to edit, we're going to copy that. Since I scaled it down, I'm going to make sure I copy that. And I'm going to paste it over here. I'm sorry, I paste over the other one. So we're going to zoom in. And we're going to move it to the same location over here. As close to it as we can, so that way it looks good. Okay. Why does it not seem like it's in the same-ish location? Let me zoom back in over here. Zoom out here. I just want to make sure I get it in a similar location. Alright. That looks about good, so we're going to deselect, and now we're going to go to our state patrol. And they have a state patrol in the back on each of the side of the car. Each side of the car, we're going to edit. We're going to copy that. And then we're just going to paste it over here. Paste. We're going to move it to the location we need it. And that's actually already at a pretty darn good size. So we're going to zoom in and just get it in the area we need it. So let's see. I'll line it up right there with the end of the door. We're going to paste again. And we're going to zoom out to make it easier to get over to the other side of the car. And we're going to zoom in, move it into location, and then we'll zoom back out. Just make sure it's it looks okay from farther out. Okay, there we go. So now they have a state trooper, state patrol as well on the tailgate. So we're just going to paste it again. And we're going to move it up. I'm going to zoom in. And I don't know if we'll need to scale this or not yet. Alrighty. That's in a pretty good location. We're going to make sure it's centered. We're going to center, if you can see the cross over the P, that's going to be the center of this. And we're just going to kind of center it up on the middle line right here. And in fact, this has more gray on it on the end than this side, so we're gonna put it a little more to the right, just to keep it centered. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and zoom out, and we're gonna do the license plates next. So we can close out of this other GIMP file, and now we're gonna open up our license plate file with GIMP. Okay. And because it doesn't have any background to it, all we have to do is edit, copy, and we can actually close out of that now and go full screen over here. Okay, edit and paste, and we're just going to move it over here, and we're going to zoom in on the license plate area. We're just going to kind of line it up first, the bottom side first, and then we're going to line up the left side, and now we're going to scale it down. And one more thing, while you're scaling, make sure you hold the control key, so that way it scales proportionally. If you do not hold the control key, something like this will happen, and it will get all unproportional and it won't look good. Okay, we're going to scale up because it's not exactly the same size as the template's license plate. We're just going to kind of try to center it over it. We'll scale a little bit more. Oop, I didn't hold control there. Scale that, and we're just going to, again, we're just going to kind of center it as best as we can. All right, now we're going to edit that, copy, edit, and paste. And we're just going to move it over to the other side. And center it as best as we can. And let's call that good right there. Okay, so now we've got every logo in place in the general area. If you want to add more, it's just kind of the same concept in adding it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the color to the entire car. So we're going to zoom in on our gray here. Use the color picker tool to get the color we want, and it shows up right there now. So now we're going to zoom out. I'm going to use the pencil tool, and you just double click on the tool to get the options. I'm going to choose this brush because that's the brush I like, and we're just going to increase the size a lot, so that way we can color all this other stuff in fast. And we're just going to get as close as we can to our other images. And then we'll go in for the detail and getting closer. See, I went over that. So just move, click, move into place, click it once, and move on. We'll get it more detailed and more closer in a moment. We're just going to try to save time here by... Alright. Let's color in up here. Okay, scroll down, and we're going to finish coloring in down here. Okie dokie. We got that in there. So now we're going to scroll our brush down, and we're going to fill in this area. We're just going to slowly scroll our brush down and zoom in as we need to help us save time. Okay, so now let's zoom in on this one. We're going to get our pencil tool back out, and we're going to just scale it all the way down. There we go. And now we're just going to color it in. I like to move to a location, click, move to a location, click, instead of dragging it. When you drag it, you're more likely to mess up and drag over. All you have to do is press Control and Z at the same time, and we'll undo that. So if I go over, press Control and Z, and it takes undo, it does the your last action instead of going up to the edit and undo, right clicking and undoing and whatnot. Okay, with this, because it's all white, I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to use the paint bucket. Yep, that colored it all in. And what we'll do is to get rid of that white there, is we'll just pull out the pencil tool and we'll color over that one pixel. We'll do the same right here. Okay. Scroll down to the next area. Same thing. Making your own texture. Start out with something simple like this, where all you're doing is just kind of taking images, importing them into the file, and going from there. So there we go. We're going to find our next area we need to do. All we do is color this in. And then I'm going to go over next, once I finish coloring all this in, how to install it onto the vehicle you want to install it on. So that way when you spawn that vehicle in-game, it will show up on that vehicle. And I'm going to put this texture onto one of my Texas DPS vehicles, just because I don't want to have to worry about messing with my Police 1, which is the LSPD Crown Victoria patrol car. I don't want to have to worry about dealing with that one. I already have a backup file texture saved for my Texas DPS Crown Victoria. so it'll be easier to replace that. All right, and I believe this is the last thing we need to color in. Alrighty, let's just zoom out and make sure. I see a little bit on the left side here that we need to color in. Okay. Alright, I apologize for that. That's my pager. I'm in the volunteer fire department. The other station got a residential fire call. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to export this. We're going to click File, Export As, and we're going to make sure it's exporting as a PNG, a .png. PNGs are easier to deal with. Somebody's going to argue with me that JPEGs are better. I just like PNGs. You can save it as a JPEG if you want. I don't like to. So we're going to just export that. And what I have saved on the desktop is the template, what we covered over all the lines of the patrol car. We're just going to replace that because we don't need that anymore. Export it. Now we're going to close. And now it's asking me to save it as a GIMP editing file. So if I wanted to go back later and edit the GIMP file, I could save it as something, and it's just going to save it as a, I don't remember the extension for the GIMP file, but I don't need to save it as that. Okay, so now we've got our file. So we're going to go into OpenIV, Grand Theft Auto, and you could navigate to the police file if you wanted to replace it. If you wanted to replace the police one, and I'll just show you guys where that file is now if you guys want. If you were to replace your police one file texture, and then let's see, there's the file location. I've got it saved under my mods folder. So if you wanted to replace your police file, that's this location right here. X64E.rpf levels GTA5 vehicles.rpf, and then you scroll down to police. And there's your police file. So you just go in here, you go to the CVIP, and I've got my, here's what I did right here, is if you want to have some vehicles spawning, so like I have the state troopers added, I got the supplemental vehicles, so it adds on, and then I wanted the LSPD patrol cars to have it 1 out of 4 times spawn a Texas DPS skinned LSPD patrol car. So I just replaced one of the CVPI signs as a Texas DPS skin. So that way, 1 out of 4 times it will spawn as a Texas State Trooper. So all you're gonna do is let me go. I was gonna replace my Texas DPS State Trooper skin because I have the backup saved. We're gonna go to make sure you go to the YTD file, and then you just go to the sign. And I've already actually got it in there. All you got to do, and in fact, I keep forgetting to press edit mode, is you click on the sign you want. If you wanted to replace all 4 signs, you could. Some of them only have 1 texture file. Some of them will have more. This one has 4. And we're just going to click replace. And then you go find your file location and you click replace, and then you save it. And then that's it. So what you're going to do now is you're going to click on the .ytf file to make sure that it's working. If it shows up here as the texture you want, then you're good to go. If not, then it saves you time from having to go into the game, finding out, oh crap, the texture is not loading, closing out of the game and figuring out why, and editing and doing the process over and over again. You can check the .ytf file and see if it's or YFT file and see if it's working. So there we go. I'm going to open up the game now, and we're going to show you how it looks inside the game. See you guys in a moment. Okay, guys, we are back in the game, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn the vehicle so you guys can see it inside the game. So I'm going to open up my Rage Hook software, and we're going to type in, my vehicle is saved as DPS1, because that's where I replaced the file. So I'm going to spawn DPS1, and if you remember, there's 4 CVPI signs. That's 4 different textures for the police vehicle. I only replaced one of them, so it's going to be 25% of the time that vehicle DPS1 will spawn with the Iowa State Trooper texture. And this time it didn't, so what I'll do is I'll respawn it, and I'm still not getting it. There we go, now I got it. So here's our Iowa State Trooper Patrol. If you notice, my game's a little laggy. That's every time the first time you spawn a vehicle, and it takes it a second to load up, and it should work fine after that. And there we go. There's our State Trooper. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got good education out of this video. Let's hit the wall. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Be watching more content. I post daily content. If there's anything you guys request for tutorials or mod showcases or mod install tutorials, please let me know and leave a comment down below, and I will get on it right away. Thank you guys. You guys have a nice day.